Hello, Insomnia Project listeners. This is Marco Timpano, and I know we're on hiatus at the moment, but we're going to be airing some past shows here for you each week, so you can continue to listen on whatever platform you listen to, and if you enjoy the shows, please give us a 5-star review. With the recent passing of Dolly Parton, I thought it was only right to start with this one. This episode originally aired on May 22nd, 2019, and my co-host for that day was a dear friend, Shannon McDonough. She is also a big Dolly Parton fan. You know, a lot of people have been reaching out to me and giving me their condolences for the passing of Dolly Parton, even though I never knew her. But her light just keeps continuing, and I am so grateful for that and grateful for what Dolly left behind. You know, she didn't just leave behind songs, she left behind a way of seeing the world. Kind eyes no matter what. And as she always said, leave something good in every day. Well, here is that episode, and we hope you enjoy it. Welcome to the Insomnia Project. Sit back, relax, and listen. We're going to have a mundane conversation, something that you can just sort of chill to, relax, and just enjoy this podcast. And if you happen to drift off, so be it. I'm your host, Marco Timpano. We hope you will listen and sleep. Joining me on this episode is a dear friend, Shannon McDonough. Did I say that right?
You did.
Welcome to
Thanks.
the Insomnia Project. Now, you have a love that I aspire to, and that's scuba diving.
Mm-hmm.
I can snorkel. I'm not great, but scuba diving is something I want to do so badly, but I'm not a good swimmer.
I can't swim.
Really?
I can dog paddle.
Okay.
But I know that if the boat went down, I'm screwed.
Okay.
Totally. But I'm not a great swimmer. And the thing that's great with scuba diving is you're not going to drown.
Okay. Because you have the tank.
And you've got oxygen. And it's you just have to be able to control your buoyancy so that you're not floating up and you're not sinking. But once you do that, you're just kicking. Yeah, it's great.
So I have to, full disclosure, I have to confess, this will be the second episode we do on scuba diving because my co-host, Nidhi, just got her scuba dive certification. Thank you. And so we had a whole episode about her getting it, and then once she got it. So I'm going to ask you some specifics about scuba diving just to take this in a different direction, or a new direction, let's say. What do you love about scuba diving?
You know what? I grew up watching, reading Jules Verne.
Okay.
And watching Jacques Cousteau.
Yes.
And it's just this magical world.
Yeah.
And there's no way to experience it unless you're there.
Okay.
And there's been several times where I've been, on a reef somewhere, 90 feet down below, seeing this incredible life, and just teeming with life. And I stop and I think to myself, nobody else gets to see this.
Wow.
Unless you strap a tank on your back.
Right.
You can never experience it. And it feels special. Mm-hmm. It feels a bit magical. Yes. And it feels kind of like you're, an explorer. Sure. In a way. Sure. And that is what I love about it. Yeah. Yeah.
What's the most majestic thing you've seen under the sea?
I was in Thailand at a place, it was near the Simillian Islands, and there was a very strong current, which is tough to kick against. Sure. And so I was starting to get tired. And so I just sort of rolled over onto my back and was kicking, and I looked up above me, and up above me there were a whole bunch of schools of fish, like huge fish, hundreds, thousands maybe, and they were all doing the same thing. They were all just swimming in the current but not going anywhere. Okay. And so I was laying like on my back beneath them, watching them, and I just thought, this is incredible. Wow. That was probably one of the coolest things I've ever experienced.
Did they shimmer? Like, did they have an almost hypnotic Zen kind of feel to them.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Finding Nemo?
Yes, of course.
You know that scene where they're talking to the fish and it's the whole school of fish and they all join? I don't know what breed of fish that is. I've seen
like
that.
an anchovy or sardine type fish?
They were bigger.
Oh, they were bigger, okay.
But definitely.
But a school, nonetheless.
Yeah, huge school. And they all moved together and in different patterns. And that, to me, was just fascinating.
When I was a child, I wanted to be a fisherman. And then I realized a fisherman catches fish, and then I decided I wanted to be a marine biologist. At the time, because I used to watch Jacques Cousteau, and there was a show called Oceans Alive that I used to watch. And so then I was like, I'm going to be an oceanographer. And that was my career choice as a child. That's what I wanted to be, right? So consequently, I have great knowledge about undersea animals and fish and whatnot, and I'm really good at drawing those type of things. When you were a child, what was the profession that you would say you'd want to be?
I always wanted to be an actor.
Really?
I wanted to be an actor. All the women in my family are or were teachers.
Okay.
Everybody was a teacher. Right. So I assumed you need something to fall back on.
Sure.
So I assumed I was going to be a teacher.
Okay.
But always wanted, like I've been acting since I could speak.
What was the first play you were ever in?
It would have been a Christmas play.
Okay, so I was a shepherd once.
I was Santa.
You were Santa?
I was Santa.
That's so great.
Yes,
How progressive, too. That's so wonderful.
Well, I found out, I thought I was really special and very talented, you know.
Sure.
I remember in grade 4, we did Sleeping Beauty, and I was one of the fairies. And I thought that I always got these parts because I was such a great actor.
Right.
And when I got older, I found out I was just the loudest.
Oh, I see. Well, listen, if you can't be heard, there's... On that note, so I was the shepherd number 3 in my first play, and I had 2 lines, one of which was perhaps, and the other was, we'll follow the star. Okay? So after the play, we were in the car, and I asked my dad, I said, what was your favorite part? And he said, my favorite part was when you said craps. And I'm like, I never said craps. I said perhaps. And I'm like, why would a shepherd going to the nativity say, or going to see baby Jesus say craps? Like, it made no sense. Anyways, that was my father's favorite part of my acting journey when I was a child. So
that is hilarious. Yeah. Hilarious.
So you were Santa. You were a fairy.
I was Merryweather.
Oh, okay. So
the blue fairy.
The blue fairy. I think the most important, the one everyone remembers,
of
really.
Course.
Because what are the other ones' names?
Flora and Fauna.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Has there been another role that maybe you got in your adult acting career that you've just savored and just really enjoyed, and perhaps a role that you didn't expect to enjoy that much?
On stage or just in general?
In general.
I was really thrilled. It was probably 3 years ago, but the movie is just about to be released. And I did not mean to do this as a plug.
But are you able to mention it?
Yeah.
Okay, you can. Okay.
It was a horror movie.
Oh, this is even better.
Yeah.
This will help people fall asleep. Okay.
Exactly. It was a horror movie. Right. And I remember, reading the script, and it was creepy, and it was eerie and everything. And I was playing the motel manager. Okay. I had like 3 scenes, so I was thrilled about that.
Sure.
And when I got there, and there were some funny bits, but when I got there, there were 2 directors who were just wonderful, and I did the scene, and then they would come to me and say, "Could you do it weirder?"
Okay.
Okay. So I did it again, and they're like, "Great. Go even further, like be really, really weird." And so I got to be the kookiest and really funny, weird character in the middle of this horror movie. And it was thrilling.
Oh,
I was so excited. And it was a lot of fun. And it's coming out now. It's a Canadian movie called Helmington.
Helmington. Great.
Yes.
And this will air in the future, so it might coincide.
So you've probably already seen it, and my Oscar nomination and my star is going to be released on the Walk of Fame.
Great.
Any minute now.
Great. Yeah. Oh, I want to be there. You know how they have those teams of people who will buff the star and really shine the brass? I want to be one of those people for your star.
Thank you.
Is there a part that you would love to play? So, for example, I always ask my friends who are performers and actors, if you could be cast in a television series, what role would you like to play? And then what's the role you would not want to play that you would most probably get cast in? So, for example, I would love to play a doctor on television, like on ER, Grey's Anatomy. I love medical shows. What I wouldn't want to do is be a cowboy that has to ride a horse, because horses kind of freak me out.
Gotcha.
So I'd probably end up in some Western before I was a doctor. So
right.
I pose that question to you.
You know what? I, too, love medical shows. I am obsessed with Grey's Anatomy.
Have you seen New Amsterdam?
No.
Oh. Then
Good.
you have to. So I loved, what's that one? Code Black.
Mm-hmm.
I loved Code Black. Loved it. And then they canceled it. And Marcia Gay Harden was sublime in it. Marcia Gay, if you're listening to this podcast, please come on our show so I can just lament about them canceling yours. But now New Amsterdam, which is based on a book by a doctor, is just tremendous. I really recommend it. I'm just taking this little side note here for our listeners.
It's on my list.
Okay, great. But
awesome.
Anyway, sorry.
What would I love to play? See, now my father was a police officer.
Oh.
And now, in my career, I work as a television producer, and I work on a lot of the true crime shows.
Oh, I see.
So I really, I do the interviews. I get to
Sure.
interview, families of the victim and the police officers and the district attorneys and investigators and stuff, and I find it fascinating. I love it. And so I would love to play a cop. I would love to play a cop in... well, of course, I would love an entire series that's going to run for, let's say, 12, 13 seasons. That would be ideal. But I would love, one of those kind of Law and Order shows.
Yeah, you'd make a great cop.
I would love to do that.
Has your dad's career as a cop helped you when you're in these situations, when you're interviewing police officers? Do you have a sort of an insight that perhaps another producer wouldn't?
I think so. I know that, my superiors have often reacted, when I let them know my father was a police officer. They're always like, oh, wow, that's great. I think that maybe at times people... I don't know if they'd get nerves, speaking to police officers and stuff. And for me, I guess because I grew up with a cop and my father's friends that were also on the force, so I have a comfortability with them.
Right.
And I also know, growing up, I know that cops don't like to talk about what happened today at work, you know? And so when I speak with them, I acknowledge that, and I know that what they've been through and what they've seen and stuff. And so I think that I mean, I don't know, some of them might think I'm a total jerk, but I think they seem to appreciate that. And I tend to do well talking to police officers.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What are some other tips that you have learned as a television producer that have been applicable to your life that you might want to share? Is there anything that has happened in your producing life that you're like, this is something I learned that's pretty cool? I know I ask these
life lessons
or whatever lessons, anything that struck you as a producer, where you're like, this is cool, or I spoke to this person and it was a cool experience.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been an actor, I've been a host, and now I still perform in front of the camera, but this is Canada, so I'm usually on my side job most of the time.
You are on a commercial, and I love seeing it. I think you're playing a firefighter.
And it's
like every time I see it. And you were in Anne with an E, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting,
was really cool.
Being a Canadian performer, seeing your friends on shows, and you're like, there's Shannon. And then you Facebook them, and I saw you on this, or I saw you on that.
Well, I just saw your wife Amanda in something.
She was in Handmaid's Tale. I don't know if you saw
That's
that.
what it was, yeah. Mm-hmm. I auditioned for that 3 times, and I did not get it.
4's a charm.
Yes, the 4th one. Yeah. Oh, season 3.
You'd be great on it. Great in it.
Oh, yeah. But what I learned working as a producer, like I worked all my way through TV. Like I started as a production assistant, and then started taking kind of like log notes, so the editor knew, what tape to find, what footage on.
So penmanship would be important there.
Well, exactly. Okay. But also, it taught me how to follow a story.
Oh.
And so I would take notes, like, here's a close-up of Marco interviewing Shannon.
Right.
And I know that this is important for the Marco storyline later down the road. But TV can be really busy and crazy, and there's a lot of stress, and there's a lot of different personalities. And when I first started, especially when I first started in producing, I found the stress would stress me out.
Sure.
And it took me a while to learn that it's okay to have a bunch of moving parts. It's okay to not, like, you can't control everything.
Sure.
And you can't take it all on yourself.
Right.
So I went from being a very, I guess, frenetic, a slightly spazzy person to now I'm much more calm and chilled, and I kind of let things slide.
Sure.
And I know that if everyone kind of does their job, it's all going to come out in the end.
Right.
And let's not freak out. Let's not, let's not have a bird right now.
Right.
And there's an expression you hear all the time. It's just TV.
Oh.
We're just making TV.
Okay.
We're not curing cancer.
Right.
It's not the end of the world.
Sure.
We're just making TV.
That's awesome.
Right? So, yeah, that's what I've learned.
That's
my biggest life lesson. Just calm down.
You could apply that to many different things in your life. Like, when you're like, I'm going to be late for this appointment. I'm going to be late. It's like, it's just an appointment. It's just an appointment.
Yeah. Well, I learned that Eckhart Tolle had a book, I think it's called The New Earth or A Brand New Earth.
Okay. I read his popular book, the one that everybody was going crazy
That's probably
with.
the one that I read.
I didn't like it.
No? Oh, I did.
Oh,
Well, this was the lesson that I learned in that, where he talked about, let's say you're stuck on the side of the road, it's raining, and you have a flat tire.
Mm-hmm.
You can freak out about the rain, and you can freak out about the flat tire.
Yeah.
But it's not going to change it.
Right.
So just accept, and it's the stress you add to the situation isn't going to make it any better.
Wow.
And so I find myself paying attention to that now, like how you said, where I'm late, and I just, you're going to be late.
Yeah.
You can spend the next 8 minutes freaking out, or you can just, okay, I'm going to be late. Like I was 3 minutes late here for you today.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yes.
I didn't notice. That reminds me of a story, and I hope you'll indulge me here. So I was a waiter in a fancy schmancy place in New York City in Soho called Barolo. That's no longer there. And as with many things in New York, things can get intense and crazy. And in this restaurant, they would have a branzino that was baked in salt that the waiters would have to fillet at the table.
Oh, boy.
And so when you would get that, when one of your customers would order the branzino, the baked branzino, you'd be like, oh my goodness, I don't have time to fillet that because I have so many other tables, but that was our job. And the owners didn't care. You just had to figure it out. And I used to hate to do the branzino. I would do everything in my power to steer customers away from ordering the branzino until I put it in a different perspective where it's like, well, if I have to fillet the branzino at the table and it's going to take me at least 7 minutes to do so, then that's my Zen moment of no one can bother me because I'm doing what I have to do, and everyone has to wait for me until I'm done this task. And so I took it as an opportunity to really enjoy the moment of filleting the branzino. And as a consequence, I could fillet that fish better than anyone else because I wasn't thinking about other tables that I had to go run to. And when I was like, right now, it's me and this fish and nothing else. Everything else is just stopped in this busy restaurant. And that was the lesson I learned from being a waiter in New York City.
Being mindful.
Being
just
mindful.
Stay in the moment.
We also share. So we share a love for undersea and scuba diving, which I'm hoping to one day become a certified scuba diver. But we have a love for Dolly Parton.
Oh, yes.
And I hope you don't mind. I think for the next bit of the show, we're just going to talk about Dolly Parton.
Oh, I could talk about her all day.
How did you discover her?
I was, I think, about 5 or 6, and my grandparents had, a whole bunch of country albums.
Sure.
And I remember it was a country album that, like, from K-Tel, and so it had, like, the biggest hits of that year. And I can't remember what song it was. It might have been Jolene. Yeah, Jolene first came out in the 70s. So I loved the song, and I kept playing it. Oh, and then it was Divorce, Divorce.
But wasn't that Tammy Wynette?
And then Dolly did a cover.
Oh, Dolly did a cover.
And
look at us playing.
Look at us, eh? My grandparents.
Country Divas with Shannon and Marco. There's a podcast for you.
Then I became obsessed with her.
Yes.
And my grandparents had, and I wanted to hear more of her.
Sure.
And my grandparents had an 8-track player, and they had an 8-track of Dolly. And so I would listen to it over and over again. And then I think it was 1980, so I was 8 when 9 to 5 came out.
Okay.
And my parents said, we're going to go to the movies. Then they were going to take us to go see Popeye.
Okay. With Robin Williams and Shelley Duvall.
Yes. And a very big flop at the time.
Yes.
But I really want to go scuba diving there in Malta where they shot it. Side note. But, and I had seen a commercial, and I loved Lily Tomlin. I was already obsessed with Lily Tomlin. And so I saw the commercial for 9 to 5, and I said, can we go see that instead? Oh. And so my dad took my brother to see Popeye, and my mom took me to see 9 to 5, which was so inappropriate for an 8-year-old. But I became obsessed. I was obsessed. I had, oh my God, all of her albums. I think I have about 43 now.
Wow.
I've seen her 11 times in concert.
Even if you're not a fan and you don't know her music, if she's playing in your town and you appreciate music or musicianship or songwriters, go see her concert. Even if you're in the worst seat in the house, go see her. She puts on a fantastic concert. She plays so many instruments. It's just tremendous. You don't want to miss seeing Dolly live. Anyways.
Oh, especially, and you know what's so great? Like when I was a little kid, of course, everyone made fun of me because I liked Dolly Parton, you know?
Of course.
And you could bring in an album, to art class and play it. And I would bring like 9 to 5 or something, and all the kids would groan. And, I was teased. Everyone else liked AC/DC, and I was obsessed with Dolly. And it's so awesome now to see like she's having this whole resurgence. And, it was a few years ago at the Molson Amphitheater. No, it's Budweiser, right?
Yes.
Here in Toronto, I went to go see her, and I remember she was singing Here You Come Again.
Yes.
And everyone was singing along. And I turned to look at the crowd, and I just like thousands and thousands of people, and it felt so wonderful. And
I was one of those people. I was at that concert.
It was so great, and I still wear my Dolly Parton belt buckle and my T-shirts, and people stop me all the time when I wear. So now when I travel for work, I wear my Dolly Parton T-shirt because they're so friendly to me at customs.
Oh.
Seriously, everyone goes, oh, that's Dolly.
That's a great tip.
It's true.
Oh, I'm going to
People smile, wave you right through. It's amazing.
Well, there you go. There's so many great Dolly stories. My favorite story is she was on the set of Steel Magnolias, and they were filming in the summer, in August, but the scene was a fall or winter scene, so they were all in sweaters. Do you know this story?
Julia Roberts?
Okay, yeah. And correct, if I steer wrong, please correct me. And all the actors who were on the porch were complaining about how hot it was and how they had to wear these sweaters and these cardigans and whatnot. And then at a certain point, Julia Roberts turns and sees Dolly and says, "Dolly, aren't you hot?" And she said, "Yes." And she goes, "Well, how come you're not complaining about it?" And Dolly said, "I dreamed all my life to be where I am right now. Now that I'm here, I'm not going to complain about it." And Julia Roberts said, "That shut us all up cold." That's one of my favorite stories of hers.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a favorite story?
Oh, my gosh.
There's also
so many.
There's so many.
It's like I love like the stories that she tells.
Sure.
Like, it's funny. I've been talking to everyone is obsessed with Jolene.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic
It's great.
song.
It's great.
But Dolly Parton has about 3,000 songs.
Yeah.
It's always funny to me that everyone talks about only Jolene.
Jolene, right.
It's a great song, but I can give you 50 that'll just knock your socks off, even more than Jolene.
Little Sparrow, one of my favorites.
Sparrow.
So great.
Oh, my favorite, These All Bones.
Yes.
I love
My Tennessee Mountain Home.
My Tennessee Mountain Home.
She does a cover of Shine. Shine by Counting Crows.
Oh, yes,
I think it's them. Mm-hmm. Forgive me if it's not. When I'm depressed, when I'm sad, I just put that song on, and she does a better cover than the original recording, in my opinion.
I had a really bad breakup. Like, it was, 12 years ago or so. My sister passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And then about a year later, my partner left.
Oh, wow.
Left me. And I was so depressed. And I think, too, I hadn't quite dealt with my sister dying.
Sure.
And I'm sure it was probably part of the reason why my partner left me. I was too miserable to be around. And I was so bummed out, and I cried myself to sleep for 6 months. And then her new album came out, Backwoods Barbie.
Oh, yes.
And the song, You Better Get to Living, and the video for You Better Get to Living. And it, literally lifted me up out of my depression. And there's a line in the song where she says, girlfriend came to my house, started crying on my shoulder Sunday evening. She was spinning such a sad tale, I could not believe the yarn that she was weaving. So negative the words she had to say. I said, if I had a violin, I'd play. Right. And it struck me, and I thought, oh God, if I ever met Dolly Parton and she thought I was complaining so much, I'd be so embarrassed.
Right.
And that was, my whole life has always lifted me up.
Right.
Completely lifted me up. And I came out to, it's so funny looking back at it now, but I wrote a fan letter to her in 1983 saying, I like you so much. And I know it's weird, a girl liking another girl.
Right.
But I really do. And I never did hear back. Okay. But I realize now that I was I was obsessed with her.
Oh, wow.
And,
So you came out to Dolly.
I came out to Dolly.
Great. What a great story.
I mean, it took me 10 more years or so to finally come out to somebody else. But she's always just been that, beautiful, magical person in my mind.
Yeah.
And so she has a sweetness. Mm-hmm. And I love especially her older music, where it's quite simple, but it's very funny.
Yeah.
And lots of times you're not sure if she knew how funny it was at the time. Like when you listen to, I don't know if you know the old song, I Don't Want to Throw Rice.
No.
She's at her friend's wedding, and it's basically, I don't want to throw rice. I want to throw rocks at her because she took the only man I've ever loved.
I love this.
It is hilarious. And, I think there's something fishy going on is another song. Just, she's so sweet and earnest and lovely. I don't know how anyone can't just fall in love with her as soon as they see her.
If you don't love Dolly,
I don't want to know you.
Well, fair. But if you don't appreciate Dolly, and you've heard us rave now for quite a bit on Dolly, do yourself a favor and pick up any one of her albums.
Oh, yeah.
She yodels in a song. I have a particular love for yodeling. I don't know why. I just do. Mm-hmm. When I was a little kid and we used to go mushroom picking, I would yodel, and my father would be like, "How is this happening?" But that's just what I did. She yodels in a country yodel in one of her songs. I can't remember the song right now.
In Joshua, she yodels a little bit at the end, and
she's on point and fantastic. There's another song where she yodels more, she yodels in the middle of the song, and it may not be on an album. It may just be a black and white image from a show she's done with Porter Wagner. Mm-hmm. It might have been on the show, and they showed a clip of it. I was like, she can yodel.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's great.
She's spectacular in every way.
And you know who else is spectacular in every way? You are, Shannon.
Stop.
Thank you so much
for
being
me.
a part of the Insomnia Project.
Thank you.
As always, the Insomnia Project is produced by Drumcast Productions, and this particular episode was recorded in Toronto, Canada.